everyone, अस्सलाम वालेकुम. I know that आप लोग बहुत सारे लोग कंप्लेन कर रहे हैं कि ये शो उर्दू और हैदराबादी में क्यों नहीं हो रहा है, इंग्लिश में हो रहा. As much as we love talking in Urdu and Hyderabadi, sometimes बहुत सारे लोगों के लिए comfortable नहीं रहता, तो हम लोग आज जिधर ऐड कर सकते. We are trying to add हिंदी एंड उर्दू और जितना हम लोग उर्दू और हिंदी और हैदराबादी में बात कर सकते करना ट्राई कर रहे. बट एक्सक्यूज अस, we are also trying to reach a bigger audience, which is why we are using this language. I hope you really enjoy the show and you enjoy the stories of all the people that we are bringing in, because that's the reason we are doing this show. Hi guys, welcome to another exciting episode of Apne Logaan. I can't believe we are almost halfway through this season. आज जो हमारे पास गेस्ट है, दोनों मेरे फेवरेट मेकअप आर्टिस्ट हैदराबाद में तो है, बट माय रीज़न उन लोग को साथ लाने का इज़ बिकॉज उन लोग दे हैव सो मच मोर टू देयर पर्सनैलिटी दैन जस्ट बीइंग मेकअप आर्टिस्ट. एंड या आई हैव माय one of the people who inspires me so much and one of the best makeup artists in Hyderabad, Tamanna, with us. Thank you so much, Tamanna, for coming. And another one of my favorites, Samaira. Thank you both of you for taking the time out and actually coming and doing this. I know both of you are not fond of talking too much, so thank you for
Honestly,
coming to this
it's
talk
very
show.
stressful being in front of the camera.
Yeah, I know.
Behind the scene people.
I know you don't like it at all. So thank you. A special thank you for coming, because I know you don't like it.
For me, it's very tough.
Yes. Okay. So like I told you, आप लोग की इतनी you have so much more to yourselves than just being makeup artists. So Tamanna, first of all, tell me how and why have you become this amazing makeup godmother? Literally, I have known her for 10-12 years. Tell me how the journey started.
It suddenly feels very old actually after listening to that.
I also feel like that only, that I have known you for 10-12 years. Imagine. बट देखो मेरा है, मैं छोटी थी बड़ी
मैंने देखा आपको बड़े होते हुए. So this whole journey started around 13 years back of makeup, but I've always been very passionate about makeup and beauty and skin in general. It's just that things didn't work out, and most of the people, they expect the girl child to be doing either being a doctor or a teacher and stuff like that. And though I used to love studying, but this is my most favorite subject. So eventually I think destiny brought me here, and I'm quite happy and satisfied.
Yeah, and I think you are the one who actually got the makeup culture in Hyderabad. Like, I know you're not from Hyderabad, but ऐसा concept नहीं था कि शादी के लिए makeup किसी से करवाना है. It literally came in with Tamanna, which is amazing.
So I remember when I first started a studio, the moment I used to tell people I have a makeup studio, they would think it is a photo studio, because that time the culture was going to a photo studio and posing and getting family portraits done. So it was pretty tough initially. I remember I was the first one to bring in airbrush makeup, and a lot of people could not pronounce it correctly, and they would call it hairbrush. Which brush do you use? It was like that. So yeah, it's been quite an exciting journey. It feels wonderful because a lot of new girls from very well-to-do backgrounds as well as from all sorts of backgrounds are joining the industry, and it's good to see it grow. It's like. And
I can easily say and vouch that you are the reason why there is this whole makeup industry in Hyderabad today. Literally, like I have literally seen it go from zero to now being an exhausted market. So Sam, you tell us, how did you start your makeup journey?
So I totally agree with you when it comes to Tamanna. I remember calling Tamanna 5 years ago. Tamanna, I don't know if you remember, you were in Turkey. ठीक है, तो मैंने
That sounds totally
yeah, and I'm like, hi, I'm calling for so and so, and she's like, I'm in Turkey, I'll call you back later. And that's how I know Tamanna. For me, honestly, I've done 15 years of corporate life. Okay, I come from a very simple middle class family where I was like, school jao, padhai karo, aur chupchap shaadi karke baith jao. I literally thought that's going to be my life. But Alhamdulillah, I was blessed. I started working with Emirates Airlines in Dubai because I'm born, raised there. And after Emirates, I moved to DEWA, which is Dubai Electricity and Water Authorities. Spent some time there, and then I came back home to India. I started working with JP Morgan. So my life was corporate, hai, acha chal raha hai, let's go up the ladder. Was working like 18-20 hours a day. Makeup happened. First round of makeup happened when I was supposed to wear a red lipstick at my workplace, which was like when you don't wear makeup and then you can't go to red lipstick directly. To the extent my boss said, you're going to get a warning letter. Tum pehna shuru kar do. And then I took my first grooming class at that time. I started liking it, and then I became the friend who does everybody's makeup. But the real career started when I got married, and I must thank Imran for that, because on my own wedding day, the biggest disaster happened where my mom was like, you can't do your own makeup, you're not an artist or whatever. So, you know how you have that one auntie and your mother is very emotionally torturing you and saying, inse kara do, bahut acha makeup karte hain. I said, theek hai. I'll be honest, she didn't do a bad job, she did a very decent job. And I reached my wedding, and the first thing Imran tells me is, where's your makeup? And I was like, it's there, right? He's like, ye to tum roz aise hi aate ho. And that's when it clicked me that because I was not aware of how the market is, and 10 years ago, like you said, makeup wasn't a very big thing. He said that I think you should take this seriously. And that's where my journey started, that along with my job, I didn't want to be very hasty and just quit my job and, get excited. For 3 years, I was educating myself. I studied with Namrata Soni in Bombay and many other courses. And then we decided to move to Hyderabad. I don't know, it was destined to be here. It's 5 years now. And no complaints at all.
Wow, that's amazing. I know you just won the Glam on Mrs. India as well. So how did that, happen from makeup to that?
That was something I think before even thinking of makeup, I think it's just a thing you have, that you wear a crown when you're growing up. I wanted to go for Miss India, but honestly there were multiple factors. One is, there is a certain way they expect you to be in terms of your body weight, in terms of a lot of things. So when I grew up, obviously I wasn't ready. And there is a lot of investment that goes into grooming yourself. That did not happen. By then I got married. So the next option was Mrs. And this came at a time where they talked about having a plus size category specifically. So that made me feel that, when you're growing up, you go through so much of body shaming. And you see, I think everybody goes through some kind of, body shaming in their life. And I said, this is a good time where I could just do this for myself. I don't need to prove anything to anybody. And again, I just registered and I did work very hard for it, I must say that. And
yeah, I saw you.
Yeah, and then
congratulations.
Thank you. And
made us proud.
Thank you so much. And please pray, I'd like to say this very nicely, that I am preparing for internationals, inshallah. That's wonderful. And next year, 2023, I'm looking at representing India.
Wow. I know you're going to do great, Sam, just like everything else that you do. Okay, now that we're sitting here, the one common factor I think three of us have is that we all have very supportive husbands, especially Jaleel bhai. Like, I'm always in awe of him, the way he handles Tamanna and the way he supports Tamanna. And of course, your husband. No, I know, because Imran handles her also. And Asad has to handle me also. So tell us a little about what it's like to have good support from, your husband, your partner, your family.
So I feel the best part about our relationship is that, number one, we're very compatible and we're very passionate about whatever we do.
Yeah.
It's not just work in general, whether it's house or our kid or even parties or anything for that matter. Whatever we do,
I always tell
us
that we have to grow up and be a couple like Tamanna and Jaleel bhai, where they are constantly enjoying each other's company. I'm in awe of them, like, they are so in love even today, alhamdulillah, mashallah.
You won't believe, I was such an introvert when I met him. It's surprising because first time when I went for a girls' night out, I was sitting and crying in the car. And, oh my God, how will I go alone without Jaleel? Because I'd never gone out without him. But then, yes, he's given me a lot of courage and he loves to put me into challenges. It's not that he's one of those husbands, probably will support, will be your backbone, who's there to take care of issues. But, he'll not do jobs for you. You have to do it yourself and become self-sufficient. And I used to be a very introvert, dependent kind of a girl. I was always my daddy's daughter. So though he came in like that father figure in my life who was there, and I was very happy living in his shadow. But then when it came to this industry, the first thing he said, if you really want to do it, go ahead and learn properly and without my support. And that was good. Initially, obviously, any wife would feel bad that, he's not supporting. But you don't realize that sometimes husbands and families support you from a very different perspective. They're actually teaching you how to walk on your own. So I think that's good, and he does that till date. Sometimes now after so many years, I really feel like quitting at times. Like since last 1 year, this has been in my mind, like I'm done and dusted, because I kind of like something new, something exciting, and that's how we brought in Tamanna skin and hair care, and that's like a new thing which we enjoy doing. But then when it comes to makeup, sometimes I feel there's so many kids, you know, now it's their time to go forward and I should take a back seat. But he keeps telling me, and my son keeps telling me, Mom, still, you have few more years to go.
Definitely, I agree.
So let's hope you see me around for the next couple of years.
No, you have lots of years to go. You have to, my child has to be born, grow up, you have to do the child's wedding.
I really have teeth in my mouth and I will be walking with a stick.
So yeah, I always keep telling Tamanna, you have to do the makeup for your bahu for sure. Acha, so Sam, you tell us about your husband.
So I think first of all, when Imran hears this part of you talking about how Jalil bhai supports you, he's going to say, "Dekha, sab aise hi karte." So yeah, he is, between the two, we are clearly very opposite in terms of, he's the more quieter one, more logical one. I'm the more impromptu and creative one. But today, if I'm standing where I am, I can say this, that there is nobody else who I can give credit to where I am standing today. Yeah. And I think I should learn from Tamanna, walking on my own, which I still am like, ye tum kar do, wo tum kar do. But my biggest critique, I tell you, was Imran. So I used to go out, do makeup for friends and come back, and my photos dikhati thi, dekho maine kitna acha kaam kiya, and he's like, ye aisa tera hai, ye liner barabar nahi hai. And I used to be like, the whole world is liking on, on the social media, and you're the one. He's like, I can either be just nice to you or I can be honest. So you grow. So you choose what you want. And that's when I realized that this is one person who's never going to lie, and this is one person who's always going to speak the truth. So I just get better. And I must say a huge thank you to him for that. And my family. His family is, Gulzar, my mother-in-law. They've come like a blessing, and my mom keeps joking that har Ramzan ki tumhari jo tumne nafile padhi hai na, ye sab uska natija hai. You're getting the husband you wanted, but definitely, I think one person in the family is extremely important, and I'm blessed to have that.
Okay, before we move to the next fun questions, this is probably my last question about makeup to you guys. Okay, so Tamanna, you've been a pioneer of makeup industry in Hyderabad. How have you seen it grow, or how have you seen it get exhausted, or how have you seen it change? Tell us a little about that.
I feel the awareness part of it has really kind of gone to another level. I'm very bad with social media in general, but these young kids, they are so tech friendly, which is amazing to see.
Yeah.
And social media today really helps people to see a lot of stuff, but then I think right kind of knowledge is still not there, especially when it comes to Indians. We love seeing things, but when we want to try it on ourselves, we're very scared. We're still fearful. And we have our own comfort zone. So things have changed, definitely. I still remember first time when this is one incident I always talk about with my students also. I had gone to Bombay and I learned it from Ojas. And he has a signature style of doing a smoky eye, soft, sultry. And I was in love with that look. Because of that look only I went to learn. When I came back to Hyderabad and I did it on one of my initial clients, she first said, it's very nice, but can you remove 30% of it? That was like a shocker. Literally my heart broke. Because they were not ready for it. Today, girls come forward, they bring in some very creative looks, and it's fun to do looks on them, And some of them leave it to you and they trust you, and that is like a challenge. And then you have to prove that yes, you work along with it. At least today people understand that if you're going to professional, probably a professional with some body of work, it's not that they'll do cut, copy, paste work, and they give you that sense of freedom, which is good, which also puts in extra responsibility, but at the same time you have to kind of outshine yourself, which is fantastic. Yeah. So I think it has growth. I have a question from you. Yeah. Though you've called us for questions.
I am always talking more in my interviews, so please ask me the question.
Yes, because I want to ask you, is Asid a critical person or not? Does he criticize you or not?
Me?
Yeah.
No, he doesn't.
Then you need to tell him to start criticizing.
He doesn't criticize me at all.
I think he's very nice, right?
For me, my sister is my biggest critic.
That's fantastic. At least you should have one person.
Yeah.
You know why I brought up this point? Because it's a very relevant point when it comes to women. I feel women at times get so carried away with their success. you need somebody to shake you up, shake your ground a little bit and bring you to
and
ground
Tamanna
reality.
and I do that to each other also. Sometimes she tells me like these truth bombs, and sometimes I tell her these truth bombs that no, you can't do this, you have to listen to
enjoy
me.
it like bitter chocolate.
Yeah, we literally do that to each other. And you know, I feel you need more women who are supporting other women in the right way. See, everybody is great to say, "Ha, you're women, great going," but it also takes a lot to correct them if you feel you're wrong. And sometimes people take it as constructive criticism. Sometimes people don't like it, but I believe in saying it, and I can do that with Tamanna.
And I want to add one more thing. I'm sorry, I'm hijacking.
No, of course.
So I somehow, you know, through your channel and through your medium, I really want to request everybody, all the artists in Hyderabad. There's one thing which is lacking between the makeup artists of Hyderabad is that there's no unity, and somehow people kind of feel each other, like the other makeup artist is your enemy or your competitor. I feel you should be your own competition, not the other person. So somewhere or the other, I feel that is one thing which is lacking in Hyderabad industry.
And we always talk about it also. Yeah, I've spoken to her also about it. Like, you know, every city they have like a makeup, you know,
union or
something.
For friends, you know, there's a club or something.
Yeah, but there's
somehow
so much
everybody wants to be up than the other one. And
I don't even know
unity.
who started this whole competition and who's giving the numbers to whom. Like, you know, it's okay to be competitive, but a very healthy competition. Because I started my career in Bombay. वहाँ पे I know so many makeup artists who literally like pull up each other and we're cheering, and you know we were even in Seema ma'am's class, but always like saying such good things about each other. सामने और पीछे दोनों. Here मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि everybody is like, oh, she's doing this.
No, but I have honestly particularly seen this in the makeup industry because I work with like a lot of bloggers and stuff. They have such a good like bonding. They, you know, when they have an event together, they actually enjoy with each other. Of course, they are direct competition to each other, which is no problem. We all.
And I think at the end of the day, everybody has work. How many brides can one person do, and how much work can you do in a day, right? So that's one thing, and secondly, I think it's a huge thing that people need to understand the education bit is the most important. Like today, I also have a retail store where I see kids coming in saying, "हाँ हमने 2 दिन का workshop कर लिया," and I'm like, "Do you think 2 days का workshop is enough for you to become a makeup artist as a career?" The answer is no. Whoever you do it from, but get your basics right, get your foundation right. You know, go slow. यहाँ पे I realize that people are in a rush. Like I've seen people holding a certificate today with their mentor, and the next day they're putting up a training class. I think this is something we really need to get out and say that you can't.
It really took me 7 to 8 years to finally decide I want to have an academy. I still remember like one of my first batches, all of them
even that time she was not sure, because I remember she was like, "मैं कर सकती हूँ." I'm like, "Dude,
of course." No, because you know, to be a teacher, it's a very huge responsibility. You know, I'm a person who wants to sleep at ease and peace in the night. If I feel I'm not doing justice, I can't live with my own self. So your self-conscious is the most important thing. It's not about just accreditations and affiliations. It's beyond that.
And I think Tamanna will agree to this, that you know, यहाँ पे people can't understand the meaning of good feedback or productive feedback to being rude. Like अगर मैं कुछ बोल दूँ तो they think you're rude, or you know you're being mean to them. They have to draw a line between, you know, this is what I mean good for you. Correct. It's not that I'm just saying it because मुझे बोलना है.
Correct, but this is also
that culture has to change.
And this is also happening because the market is so exhausted. You know what I mean? They feel, I'll go to you if you are not, you know, somebody who's vibing with them. They have another 500 options to go to, which may not be as qualified as you know you guys are. And I must say, I've seen both of you teach your students, and I've not met more secure people, because you guys teach your students everything. Like, you know, literally everything. I'm like, guys, keep something to yourself. You guys are willing to teach them everything. So, of course, you guys are really secure people, and I think we should all file a petition to start this makeup, you know, makeup union, or a bunch of makeup artists together, because I feel like that takes off so much emotional burden. Because I don't think, like right now I'm sure you both are feeling, oh, she understands me and you understand. So imagine having a bunch of people who you can share your problems with and they can relate with. Like Tamanna a lot of times tells me, you know, I have this issue. I'm like trying to give her advice, probably not understanding what she is going through, but you would probably be a right person. So I think you guys together should.
But it's something I want to appreciate you for. I feel somewhere or the other, now you're an influencer. I always used to admire you as a sports person because I've known Api as a sports person, and I know you were a national champ also. So there's something I see that, you know, in sportsmen, that spirit is there. They're always united.
Yeah.
When it comes to influencer market today in Hyderabad, I still feel they're very united. You know, it's very beautiful to see that. They don't pull each other down. I really wish and hope through your media, if you can spread this word.
We'll do it, Tamanna. We'll do it.
We'll do it to bring everybody together.
Yes,
you know?
we really do.
Yeah.
We actually do, and it'll be so nice to actually do that. And I really think we should figure out a way to kind of do it. Okay, so I had a bunch of questions about advice for makeup artists and stuff, which I think we've covered. So tell me your Hyderabad connect, Tamanna, and then I'll get to Sam. As to
my Hyderabad connect, the first thing is biryani.
Yeah.
My husband is into food business,
Yeah.
and you know, it's something. I'm a foodie. I love food and I love serving food.
Love feeding.
You know that by now. So yes, Hyderabad food is something I love. I travel so much, but then still I feel when I come back home, I only request him one thing: can we get some biryani and chicken 65? So I love Hyderabad food.
I think we all do. And now Mahfil is right down the road for me, so I'm like constantly kuch hote hi theek hai, chicken 65 biryani kind of. You tell me, why did you make the switch?
My connect definitely is Irani chai. I'm a chai addict. I have really gone down on that. But
you're sitting with the right person.
है ना? I love chai. मतलब coffee कुछ भी बोलो, but chai is chai. You can wake me from my sleep and say chai and I'll be okay with it. How did I move to Hyderabad is very funny because initially, obviously, like, you know, after completing 5-6 years, I was like, okay, now probably I want to set up a studio. You don't want to take a big risk because you come from a job and you don't have any, you know, khandani daulat that's pada hua ke chalo business dal denge. So we were looking at Bombay, and if I had to set up in a Bombay, like a place like Bandra or Colaba, I literally would have to probably give one of my kidneys and then get a place in rental. I said, yahan to nahi ho paega. So we looked at other cities, went to Chennai. Big no, because language wasn't working and the whole vibe wasn't there. Bangalore was again the same traffic of Bombay. So we had one cousin in Hyderabad. Imran ke ek cousin the yahan pe who lived in the I think Abbott's area, and I said let's meet them. एक अगर connect मिल जाएगा तो वहाँ से network धीरे 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 बढ़ जाएगा, because mentally I was prepared for 5 years. That if I can sustain my business for 5 years, I'm good to go from there. I get Imran gets a transfer because he was still working. I had quit for his job over here. We packed up, everything is ready, and not alone. We were moving with the whole family, and I called up and I said, Bhabi, surprise for you, we are shifting and you're now helping me. And she's like, we are also shifting. And I'm like,
oh my God! You have such a supportive family.
That's right, yeah.
I moved to Hyderabad because I fell in love with this guy. Right. That was my actual first connect before biryani also. Right. I felt he was something very different, very unique, and just an amazing personality as such. And
we are all in our office. We are all Jalil Bhai fans.
Yeah, I met him once only. I remember meeting him once, but conversation.
You really can't forget if you meet Jalil Bhai, and then he'll talk about food.
So that's what happened, and you know, we were like, "Ab kya kare? Job bhi transfer ho gayi hai." Now she's not here and she's moving with the kids to Canada. Not even like she's going across the city or something. I told him, "Ab kuch nahi ho sakta. Ab jo hoga dekha jayega." And he shifted, but touch wood. Met good people, met very bad people also, but it's all a learning at the end of the day. And yeah, we're here 5 years down the line. So
see, I'm originally from North, but I really feel people in Hyderabad are really nice. They're warm,
very welcome.
They care about you. If you make a bunch of like at least 10 friends also, 10 is a very big number.
Big number, I was going to
say. But
say.
even if 2, but they're there for you through thick and thin, which is still very, very nice. You don't get to see this in metro cities. So I love
time ही नहीं है ना लोगों के पास metro cities में. People don't have the time. Like Bombay, you don't stay still for a minute. You're on the run.
On the run. Okay, and tell me, how are you as a bride, Tamanna? You see so many brides all the time. Tell me, how were you as a bride? Were you like a bridezilla? Were you like
honestly, when I got married, makeup was not my priority. It was the man who was my priority. But yes, I ended up looking a little Chinese. I went to a Chinese parlor. So he told me this is not the person I decided to marry. I had to eventually wash my face and redo my own thing. Touch wood, I used to have very good skin in those days, not anymore. But then makeup was really not required much. So it all went well, and it was an intimate wedding. So yes. Otherwise, today if you ask me, I can be a bride.
You know what? I think we should redo, like, you know, after certain years,
recreate.
Do the these American culture of like whatever, like
renewing the vows. Yeah.
You won't believe, we went for a family wedding to Morocco recently, and we all, my sister-in-laws and me, we all decided we are going to have a combined wedding ceremony.
Wow.
All of us will wear, we wear white gowns, so we'll all wear white gowns and we'll conduct a ceremony just for us to make ourselves happy. So hopefully we should do that. I'll call them.
For sure. You tell me, how are you?
I think I was the most not complicated bride because मैंने कहा तब तो education भी नहीं थी makeup के बाद में, so it looked nice, I felt happy, but I was very late. I was 2 hours late for my wedding, so I already heard a lot about that. But Imran wasn't very happy with the makeup. तो ये हुआ कि on my reception day he said nobody is doing your makeup, you do what you do every time. I ended up doing makeup for 6 people in the family, then myself. So literally,
Again you were late.
yeah, I was late. So technically, I'm usually like this, you know. If I'm not a very fussy person in life generally, but apart from the work now, because now I know so much. Otherwise, bride के मामले I was very chill, and he's like 2 घंटे late होकर आ रही है. So yeah, like कुछ भी नहीं कर सकते.
Okay, I know social media is something that both of you are on, and you know Tamanna has a huge following there, you have a huge following there. Tell me, how is it, you know, sometimes it's positive, sometimes it's negative. Tell us what that feels like. Whoever wants can start.
I think it's getting a little. I honestly won't lie. It'll be hypocrisy if I say I don't love social media and don't love the camera. I love the camera generally also because I used to act and I used to do things. But I feel it's become a little exhausting now. Like you are expected to do certain things in a certain way, keep track of trends, make sure you know the algorithms, and you know you can't do everything. So while I love it, and I must say that I've got a lot of my work because of Instagram and Facebook. We don't even really have like a huge advertisement going anywhere. I love it for that sake, but I feel that sometimes you just want to let go and say that it's okay if I don't post today, it's okay if I don't have something going up and I'm not the most happening person in this city. So while I love it, I think it needs to just give you that space sometimes.
Yeah, even I feel.
You want to ask me?
We are waiting for this answer, Tamanna.
Honestly, I hate social media. This is like the honest confession.
She's right there.
I hate doing stuff on social media because somewhere I feel it's taken away the world from reality check. And it creates so much of unnecessary pressure for you to look perfect. Thankfully, off late things are changing. People are moving towards more real stuff and more real thing. But then, it's like celebrity world. When you see your celebrity, you don't want to see them in just pajamas or shorts. You want to see them looking really perfect and hot, and like that's the standard you set for yourself. So I feel sometimes social media is a lot of pressure. I'm more comfortable with one-on-one conversations, and I'm not a camera-friendly person. It really puts me into a lot of discomfort. That's why I rarely come in front of the camera. Hopefully people will see me more eventually before I die.
So let me just give a disclaimer that we manage her social media and we are pushing her to come in front of the camera, so she is going to. And I do agree, social media is not for everybody, but unfortunately we are in a world today where it has, whether you like it or no, you have to be on social media. Is the propaganda that's going on.
So I'll add to this. The issue is I'm a very private person when it comes to things, and even when I'm doing my bride, honestly I hate people being around me. So I like to do everything myself. I like to be with my bride all by myself. So I like that one-on-one connection in general. It helps me to really give my 100%. When the people watching me, or that's why I don't do shows or any kind of those big master classes, because I feel very uncomfortable. I feel I'm not doing enough justice. And when I'm doing makeup, no matter what, like we've had instances where we had a death in the family, my child had a certain surgery or something and he was in the hospital. But when I'm in that zone, it's like trance for me. It's like another level of meditation. So, somewhere or the other, when you're in front of the camera, you are conscious because somebody's watching you and somebody's listening. So you have to kind of, I won't say pretend, but it has to be apt. So that puts me in a very awkward spot.
And I really love the fact that you brought this, Tamanna, that whatever happens in the back of the house, you're still doing and delivering what you've committed to.
Yeah, I love to do
which
that.
I think is missing over here again. I feel kabhi, I have heard from people say that someone just called and said they can't make it because something very probably not very big happen, but I feel that person's put their biggest day in your hand. How do you have the courage to even pick the phone and say कि मैं नहीं आ सकती, or you know something went wrong or whatever? Because
that's even separate. Like I don't allow phone calls from anyone. I don't take my own.
Sometimes you know when me or Sana calls, we get it from Tamanna saying, "Why are you calling me?"
No, I actually pick up and say, you know, I'm doing a bride. I can't talk right now.
So, you know, I know Tamanna very well. So for her, there's nothing more important than her bride on that day. So no matter like what's going on, the bride is the most important.
Like I even say no to celebrities or anyone. I don't do their makeup if the bride is there, because they can still find so many. There are so many ways. Bride, you can't just leave her. It's a big day. She's got so many dreams attached.
That is true. Okay.
I wish I would have done your bridal makeup.
Even I renew my vows.
you can give one event to each of us.
Okay, before we move on to the fun part of the whole thing and the last segment of the show, which is the original rapid fire, because we are trying.
Do we have a hamper?
No. That's what everyone asks, and that's what I tell them. कि गरीबों का coffee मत करना.
कुछ भी उठा के ले जाएंगे, जो पसंद है उठा के ले जाएंगे.
हमको बस एक बार बेबी को खिलाने का टाइम दे देना बस.
Baby is kicking right now.
See, baby is happy to hear my voice.
Yeah. So before I move ahead, I know both of you love to party.
So I'm a night bird. When I go through a very hectic schedule, I love to kind of unwind sometimes with my team. I love to bond with them, and we all come from similar kind of educational background to an extent. So it's so much easier for me to connect and talk about other stuff other than work. So yes, I love to relax with them. And also, I have a very small, tiny group where we kind of chill and unwind, and then we go crazy dancing. People don't see that side of me because nobody's watching and there are no videos and no photos. So I love to do that. Otherwise, I'm a little stiff, I think, in social media.
What about you, Sam?
I love dancing, Anam. I can, you know, we've done everything from the Ganpati dance in Bombay on the road to doing something in the club. But yes, I love dancing. But I also like to be with people, you know, who I'm very close to. I can't go into a random party and start dancing and have fun and all. But that's and I love eating out. While my appetite is really tiny, but I love trying stuff. So yes, definitely a night person. Mornings are not my thing at all. But of course, if काम है तो उठना ही पड़ता है. But otherwise, I love partying.
Okay, so let's start with the rapid fire. Let's start with Tamanna first. Makeup for you is?
It's my soul.
Makeup trend that you hate? I know there are lots.
There are lots actually. I hate this inverted liner in the inner corner. For me, when it comes to makeup, though it's a rapid fire, I have to elaborate on this, please.
Please.
You know, for me, makeup means beautifying you. It does not it is like a narration of your personality. I would hate to paint someone who does not belong to that character. And somewhere or the other, I feel this trend, the cat eye or the siren eye for that matter, gives you a little bitchy vibe, and I don't like that about it.
Mattes or nude?
Mattes.
Nudes or reds?
Nudes.
Shimmer or glitter?
Shimmer.
Current favorite makeup product?
There are lots actually, but yes, NARS blush, liquid blush is my current favorite.
Okay, what's the one thing that you enjoy doing when you're not working?
Watching Netflix.
Oh my God.
You like to party.
No, I love, you don't know, I'm such a TV buff.
I know you are, but I think you'll be.
Last night I finished Masaba's entire second series.
I started watching it.
You have to watch.
I watched it till 6 AM in the morning.
Okay, favorite travel destination?
Beirut.
Guilty pleasure?
Rasgulla.
Favorite makeup artist?
Favorite makeup artist is Alex Box, all the time.
Okay, this one is a very tough one, but best biryani in town?
I know the answer.
Grand Hotel. Seriously, that's the best.
Perfect. And your last one. Describe yourself in 3 words.
I think I'm very compassionate, very emotional, and can be fooled easily.
Wow.
You can't say that in public.
Why not? I have to be honest, right? You want me to repeat that? Change it?
Okay, Tamanna, you did great. Sam, on to you. Okay, one thing in life that you can't live without.
Imran Wallani. Currently.
What's the one advice you would give your young self?
my young self, I'd say please stop giving fish about others, what others say, because I have lived a life where I always worried about what everybody thought about me.
Have you always wanted to be what your current profession is?
I always wanted to be famous with lots of money, so I think I'm on my way there, but yes.
Awesome. Okay, what's your proudest achievement till date?
The fact that I'm standing here with zero support from, in terms of finances, and we both have done this on our own. It was a dream that I never thought would come true, but I was willing to work for it, so yeah.
That's amazing.
SVS is my proud.
What's your most used emoji?
With the tears.
The tears.
The tears one.
Blush or bronzer?
Blush.
Okay. Favorite beauty tip?
Just do your cleansing, toning, moisturizer. Everything about makeup starts with your skin. If it's not good, no matter what you use, it doesn't help.
What if you're blessed with bad skin?
You still have to take care of your skin. It's bad skin because you don't take care of your skin.
Okay. Would you rather be where you are in life, or would you rather be in the most exotic dream destination of yours?
Like for how many days?
What I mean to say is, would you rather be in the present moment that you are working, or would you be like elsewhere? Like
no, I'm happy where I am.
Happy.
Yes.
Okay, one thing that you'd like to change about yourself?
I think I really need to become a little more independent and definitely do things as I write them and not just write them down. Sometimes I can get a little...
Okay, and what's your philosophy in life?
Very simple, take one day at a time and never stop working hard.
Okay, last one for you, describe yourself in 3 words.
Very hardworking. I have a different word for it, I won't say it. I'm very positive in life. I always believe in manifestation. Everything I do, I write down every day in my diary that this is what I want to achieve. So I love that. And I have a very strong faith that someone's sitting up there to take care of you. Baki, don't worry.
That's awesome, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank
I hope
you.
you guys had a good time. Thank you so much for watching, guys. A super special shout out to our sponsors, Neeru, for helping us do this. Today we are in my house, so thank you, Asad, for allowing us to be in the house and shooting this at home. But thank you so much. Thank you so much for enjoying Apne Logaan, and I will be back next Saturday, 7 PM with another episode. Until then, bye-bye. Khuda Hafiz.